What about you guys? We ain't found shit.
This is the war inside my head. This is the truth that must be said. When we were young and we're looking back, you pushed at me, now I'm pushing back. We've come to terms with our ways, then we push and pull and give it all away. We would always fight and never lose this war. I can't feel you no more. I hear it again. We will always fight and never lose this war. I can't feel you no more. This is the war inside my head. Dispose the truth to be misled. When we were young and we're looking back, you pushed to me, now I'm pushing back. We've come to terms with our ways, then we push and pull and give it all away. We will always fight and never lose this war. I can't feel it again. It's with this wasted time and wasted dreams. We lose our mind, it's what it seems. I'm losing all my faith again. It never really ends. This is the end of my line. These are broken dreams. My love was made to suffer, tearing at the seams. This is the war inside my head. The sinful truths that must be said. When we were young and we're looking back, you pushed to me, now I'm pushing back. We've come to terms with our ways. Life is just a game that we all play. 'Cause we will always fight, we'll always wage this war. I can hear it again. It's with your wasted lives and wasted dreams. We lose our minds, it's what it seems. I'm losing all my faith again. It never really ends. This is the war inside my head. This is the war.
Welcome back to another episode of the Jay Stone Show at rockmetaltalk.com. Again, I'm taking a break in May. So with that said, one of my sponsored bands is going to be releasing an EP during that time. You heard them on the show, The Enemy Within. The EP is entitled 1693, and they're releasing that during my break, so we'll probably do something to recognize that when I do come back. So, but those guys are working hard at putting music out, so support those guys. I put bands on my roster that, you know, I will continue to support and, you know, do what it takes to get them out there and, you know, help make a name for those guys. So you heard Martyrs Asylum. What you just heard is Dead and Five. They're from the Detroit area, another talented band that I have the honor of playing on the show. Vocally reminds me of like a Paul Stanley meets Disturbed type of thing. The music, the production sounds good. They put out a lot of videos. I guess I'll approach them about coming on the show once I figure out a schedule. I don't really want to book anything because things are changing at work. We're merging with another company. Shift bids are coming up. So I don't even know what the fuck my days off are going to be at this point. So it's just one of those things. I've just been getting frustrated with the numbers on the show, to be honest with you. Last week was a nightmare between equipment and internet issues. But most of all, numbers have been really, really disappointing. So I'm going to be changing some things about the show. I may not be doing as many interviews for the length of time. I'm going to be not more selective, but I'm not just going to do an interview just because I need to book a guest. I need bands who are also, like being in a club are going to promote and, draw numbers. I'm not, asking for much, but when, I put all the effort in and, putting these events together. That's why I didn't do an event for this show, because I had a better turnout without an event. Thousands and thousands of people seen the events on Facebook. But again, I think people don't want to show up because of an event. If that makes any sense. I don't know if it's like a boycott or something because you got invited. But the bands need to invite their friends to those events too. I mean, I can't, I've been doing a lot of babysitting over the past couple of years and putting this stuff out there. I mean, I do my due diligence in putting bands out there and promoting the shows that they're coming on. But you have to promote the show you're coming on because you want the numbers to be fantastic, because you want to come back on when you need that exposure. So it's just one of those things. I'm not trying to be a dick, but it solely can't be in my hands. I mean, sometimes people don't like the band that's coming on, but yet, you want to promote it to your people so their friends see it, might, bring someone else to listen to your music. But it works a million different ways, but the support has to be returned. So there's going to be some conditionings, if you will, of what it's going to take to be a guest on the show. There's just some people that don't even have to promote. You could just tag them in it, and like Steve Haley, fucking 250 people will tune in. So it's just one of those things that, I got to work out on my end. Yes, again, I don't always do it for me. I'm doing it for affiliates as well that have thousands and thousands of listeners, but I should have that as well. I should have 3,000 people tuning into my show when it's live, because that's why I do it, because I appreciate live talk radio. I don't care what Howard Stern says about podcasts. My show fucking kicks ass compared to a lot of shows out there. I think if he took the time to listen to the show, he would see that there is some fucking talent behind the mic here, and it's just not everybody on there doing fucking blog talk on a shitty connection. This is a show that I put a lot of effort into it. I put a lot of time into my show. I dedicate one of my fucking days off during the week to this show. Not just for me. I like to be involved in music. Yes, in one facet or another, I'm always going to be involved in music. It's something I have a passion for, and I believe that's what I was meant to do, not sit and do technical support. But that's a whole nother fucking story. So I feel like, I'm at the point in my life where I have to have a passion for something, whether it's got to be something music related, but that's a whole nother story, and I'm working on some things. But I was reading a story about Jeff Tate from Queensryche, the original voice of Queensryche, who says he won't go back to Queensryche if the opportunity ever arises. I would never say never, but I do agree with him. His new band is fucking killer, but I do agree with him. You can only be burned so much and betrayed and whatever the case may be. Yes, he's only one side of the story. Who knows what he was doing, but But again, they chose to, form a band on the side and then take that singer and put him in the band and kick him to the curb, basically. But I tend to agree with that. Axl Rose is definitely singing for AC/DC, so it's going to be Axl DC on the road. There's a lot of people that don't like it. Yes, there was other people that they could have chose guys in cover bands, and they could have chose this guy, and they could have got the guy from Jackal, or they could have got this guy. But they chose Axl because they have to finish 10 dates, and they don't just want to finish it with anybody, and it makes sense. As much as, it's AC/DC, it's Axl. Axl don't need to do it, but then again, you're doing it because that guy has a passion for AC/DC. I mean, that's, he's always been a fan of the band. I can't hate him for it. I'm only going to be mad if the motherfucker blows his voice out singing for AC/DC and then sounds like shit on the reunion tour, because I did spend quite a bit of money on getting tickets to go see them in Orlando. So I'm going to be at the show. I will sign your autographs and whatnot if you see me there, so you can come up to me. But no, I really do feel, whatever the case may be. I seen the video of him doing the song with Angus Young on stage, got a taste of it. Does the voice fit? I don't know. It just sounds like Axl Rose singing AC/DC songs, but it's 10 dates, whatever. It's going to go down in rock and roll history, so it's not a bad thing. I'm sure Axl's not doing it for the money. He's doing it for the reasons he wants to do it. I really don't see him auditioning for it. He probably went and did a couple of songs. All right, it sounds good. Do we want Axl to? Yeah, we'll build the hype around it and blah, blah, blah. I understand, Brian is out and, can do studio stuff, but whatever. There's nothing you can do. Axl singing for fucking AC/DC. I made a comment, but I didn't get to share it, on the show last week, but Sebastian Bach does dance like Elaine from Seinfeld. Jesus Christ. I never realized it till I watched this one video of him doing a song with Guns N' Roses, but he's a good friend of Guns N' Roses, and it's good to see him out. He toured with them on the Chinese Democracy Tour. Fantastic. He's playing in Orlando next Monday. We're still debating whether we go into that or not, but whatever. Record Store Day was last week, I think it was. Yeah, it was last week. I got fucking Cheap Trick was one of the only ones I really wanted, but I see other ones out there. The people on fucking eBay got to gouge you. Just sell it for what it was going for. I understand that you have to pay fees and shit, but put that in the shipping cost. Charge what it was you were going to charge in the store. Everybody's got to try to gouge you. It's a collectible. It's this and that. If they made 5,000 of them and there's fucking 4,500 of them left, it ain't hard to find. It ain't fucking hard to find. Trust me. It's just not. You guys know I was doing a show called Spoiling the Dead. Just for reasons of that I don't really want to talk about, I stopped doing the show because there was a lot of hate about it. But in essence, they didn't want it to be spoiled like that. And there's no point doing it a week and a half later. So I'm going to do segments on the show. I'm going to figure out a way to do it with satisfying everybody. But Fear the Walking Dead, it's into the third. It's definitely interesting. The story's definitely picked up in the second season, so it's definitely got me, interested in it. What's going on now? It's still not as good as The Walking Dead, but it is what it is. So if you haven't seen it, watch the 3 episodes. It's up on AMC.com. That's another thing that pisses me off. Every time you want to watch an episode, I got to fucking log in. You click here to remember me. Remember my username and this and that. And you click there and then the episode's over and you click to watch the next fucking thing and then you got to fucking sign in all over again. What the hell I'm not buying anything. I'm watching fucking AMC. Give me a break. Shit that gets on my nerves segment. I invited Raven over. Raven Blackwell was on the show. I invited him over to refill on dog farts because my boy's been killing me all day. So if Raven, you still want to come over,